think we're going. Cool. Just want to check. Alright, we're good. Okay, last time we did some stuff. This time we left a note here for ourselves. Identify what color a letter should be. Oh, that's good. So we have a correct word right here, which is white. Our guess word is that. So I think we should go through each letter and determine what color it should be, based on if that letter is in the other word or not.
Each letter?
Yeah.
Okay. How do we do that?
I think a good starting point is to write a function to see if a word contains a letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going to try to do that.
Yeah.
Figure out if a word contains a letter. Okay, write a function.
So we have...
I think I have to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze.
You need... Slowly pepper. God bless you.
No, thank you. Sorry.
Okay. So, remember when I said first, we use first? You're like, where did first come from? Clojure has a ton of functions that we can use already.
Okay,
so
great.
we really don't have to write very many things unless we want to do more complicated things. Luckily, finding a word, a letter, if it's in a word, I think is already a built-in function. So
Okay.
you would imagine that's a pretty common thing to ask. Does this contain a letter?
Alright.
So, but in order to do that, I think we actually need. So I'm gonna have to play with something, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So Clojure string is already in there. So let me see if. Oh, what happened? Okay. Okay, so let's see, correct word. I'm doing all the
Just
typing.
deleted that.
I'm doing all the typing. You're going to do some typing.
I'm going to do some typing. I'm not nearly as good as you.
I just want to... Yeah, but you know, you're coding, so you have to type.
Okay, happy 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Oh, happy 2, 3, 4.
Thanks. Alright, so I'm about
open
to...
parentheses because you're going to call a function.
I'm going to call a function? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what does a parentheses mean? Yeah, so parentheses means we're starting a list of things, right? And then the spaces in between.
Starting a list? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was like symbols, strings.
Yeah.
There's lists.
So we can look at this and say this is the parentheses of the list.
A list of a string and a symbol.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a list inside of this list, you see?
Okay. So parentheses inside of parentheses are lists of things.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm starting a list.
Yeah.
Let me see where's your.
But those are the lists. But then when Clojure sees a list, it interprets it in a certain way. It means it's going to call a command.
Oh,
it's like,
call.
This is actually. So that's when I say you're going to call something. You represent a call as a list, and then Clojure receives the list and says, okay, this is kind of a list of like words or something, and I interpret that as like a sentence, and the sentence is telling me to do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the first part of the list needs to be the name of your command that you're going to be using. So this is already one that's built in, and because there's so many built-in commands, we use we like have to put these commands inside of categories just so that we can say, okay, these are all the string functions. Okay, these are all the functions that are related to a set, or like a bunch of different categories. So notice that these are just simple words.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a more complicated word. It's going to have a slash in it, so it's going to be Clojure dot string, because this is all the Clojure functions related to strings are under this thing called Clojure dot string.
Okay.
So type in Clojure dot string.
All right. Oops, I already misspelled that. Clojure
Dot string.
Is that how you spell Clojure?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, okay, So that's the category. They're called namespaces.
Namespaces.
This is the namespace.
Okay.
So this is now you type in a slash, like a URL slash. That one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then say includes. And see how it's like kind of finding it for you.
Yeah.
Put a question mark at the end of it. So any function that ends in a question mark means you're asking a question.
Okay. So
and
does this include?
Yeah, includes.
Includes what?
Yeah.
Okay. Does this include close your string? What am I asking?
So it's kind of a contract. It kind of promises to return either a true or a false value. So
Nice.
Okay, so space.
Space.
And you can see that it's telling you what.
Yeah, I saw that down there. True if S includes substring.
Substring. So.
I know. It's just being silly.
Yeah. So you just need to say.
Okay.
So we want to see if. Let's see, if the correct word, which is what? Guess.
White.
Or yeah. So you can either type in the string white, or you can, if you want to just say correct word, so that it pulls in the value of our correct word.
As a string like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Oops. Correct word.
Correct word is already a string.
Uh-huh.
So there's a difference between this. Oh, I wonder if there's really no way to delete a string without deleting everything.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna put in parn for here later. So it
okay,
works
cool.
really well. So there's a difference between this and this.
Oh yeah, they're different colors too. Okay.
Yeah. So so this is, what type is this? Do you remember?
Is this a symbol?
This is a symbol.
Okay.
And what is this?
A string.
Right. Okay. And what is this inside?
The function.
It's still a string because it's inside the quotes, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so a string can be a string even if it doesn't have quotes.
So there's this process of evaluation. I want to repeat, clarify again. So, whenever Clojure evaluates something, it turns some data into something else, into like different data, right? And that is determined by how Clojure interprets data. Remember, like a list is interpreted as a command, and it replaces it with the result of that command, right? So when you take a symbol, when you evaluate a symbol, you take that symbol and you turn it into something else, and what it turns into is what it is defined as. Okay. So it's whenever it reads correct word, that's just a nice way to refer to something that you've named. So this is the name of a value. So I evaluate a name by replacing it with that value. So whenever Clojure goes to interpret this, it's like, oh, she means white. So,
white.
But that only happens if it's a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if it were a string, it evaluates strings as just themselves. Right? So it's like, so you would just think like a computer.
I can't think like a computer.
I know, it's really hard.
What do you mean?
No, what I'm saying, it's like...
Just think like a computer.
Well, I'm trying to tell you how to think like a computer in terms of evaluation. So the computers
it's just
are
really
dumb.
Confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing.
Wait, so these two aren't the same thing.
They're not.
Because this is evaluating the word... I'm so confused. White?
Yeah.
And then the one in the string is evaluating...
Right. Because
I don't understand. The letters? I don't know what it's evaluating. What's the difference? Like, what are the difference between... The result would be the same, but it's doing different things. Is that what you're saying? Or would the result be different?
The result's going to be the same here.
But it's evaluating different things.
Because of these rules of evaluation. And this is the only way that you can get yourself to think like a computer, is you have to think in terms of Clojure evaluation. Because Clojure is kind of dumb. All it does is it takes in data, it does something called evaluation, and then it gives you another piece of data.
Okay.
And this is how the entire language works.
That
so
makes sense.
it receives a symbol, and it's like, or let's be simple. I receive a number. It's like, I'm not going to do anything with the number. I'm just going to give you the number back out again. So that's how you evaluate a number. It's like, this is just a plain data. I've been told that this is not special in any way, and I have to just give it right back to you. Okay, so that's the evaluation. Thinking like a computer. So it works that way for numbers. When I receive a number, I'm just going to give it right back. When I receive a string, I'm just going to give it right back too, because this is just plain literal data. I've been told to believe that these types of data are just plain and literal. I'm not going to do anything with them. I'm not going to interpret them as anything other than what they are.
Okay. Interesting.
A symbol, it's like a symbol is a special type and a list is a special type. Those are the only special types.
So strings aren't special?
Strings are not special. They're literal.
Oh. I don't
symbol,
get that.
Huh?
Okay, so is that why we did like W and M? Because they're just literal.
Yeah, they're literal. So there's
okay, alright, I think I'm following.
Yeah, you can split this up in terms of two different types of data. Symbolic and literal. We're getting religious here.
Oh gosh. Next level.
So it's just literal and then symbolic.
So the literal one is it doesn't give you anything other than what you give it.
It only means what it is.
Yeah, okay.
But
so this is saying like the actual word's correct word. It's not it's not define it's not going back to the definition of what a correct word is.
Right.
It's just saying basically asking if the symbol correct word is equivalent to the actual word's correct word, which would be false, which is similar to how last time when I was trying to compare
you're trying to
the two.
Yeah.
The W, the M.
Okay.
I'm here, friends. Okay.
Yeah.
We're following. Okay, so strings don't mean anything.
Well, they
strings mean what they say
what they
exactly.
Are. Yeah. Whereas a symbol is something that means
replaces
something else.
It means something. Okay, it points to something else.
Right. And lists the same. So those are the only two types of symbolic types. So you have a list, which is the thing that means do something more with it, and then a symbol, which means like, replace me with
something else.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here now. So I forgot what we were trying to do.
So what we're trying to do is so we kind of got off on this tangent thing.
Yeah,
because,
but it's helpful.
Because you type this as a string, whereas you wanted to insert the value of the correct word.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. I forgot what we were trying to do. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I
forgot what the goal was. So. All right. So I'm trying to figure. What is this?
So just give it a plain string so that we can just think in terms of what does this function do. Let's learn what this function does.
So what is what does this function do? Is that what I'm figuring out? Okay.
So we're trying to learn how to use this function called includes.
Okay.
To see if a string includes a letter.
See if a string includes a letter.
So we can just play with this function just to see what it does.
Okay.
So let's give it a sample string and let's see if it includes a sample letter.
Okay. But I don't know.
So you open up a quote to start a string.
Okay, we're starting a string.
So this is the word that you're going to type out.
Oh, but I have to type out a word.
Yeah,
okay, so let's do this. Blue. Okay. And then I'm trying to find out if it includes a certain letter. So how would do I do another string? Like, does it include the letter M?
Yeah.
And then evaluate that?
How do we evaluate again? Is it command enter?
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot, I'm glad you remember that. I was just going to press enter and it's probably going to open a new code block because I forgot that's what happens when you just press enter. I think, right?
It might go to the next line. I'm not sure what this does yet.
Yeah, it just makes a new code block. Okay. Okay, so, alright, cool. So what if I...
Let me do a OBS check real quick.
Cool.
Is the audio working? Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, we're good. I think so.
Great.
Alright. Okay.
Okay. So false is the correct evaluation of that. Okay, but what if I ask, does it include the letter B? Oh god, I did that thing because I didn't do that thing. It does. Yeah. So am I doing this right?
Yeah. So we know how to use this function. You gotta watch the album.
I know, I didn't look at you at all. I thought I just had it. Anyway. I was wrong. Okay, cool. So that's what this does.
Yeah. So instead of using any string, let's use our correct word. Because we're trying to verify if a letter is inside the correct word.
Yeah, so that's the part that's difficult. Okay, so because if I do, because I need it to, okay, wait. I think I might have this. Okay. No. No? No. How do I do it?
It's okay. You just like give it a guess, and then we'll talk about the guess.
I wanted to do the green correct word, not the amber one, because I need it to replace. I don't know how to like make it do that. Okay, I think. I honestly don't. Why is it coming out red? Okay, and I just feel like I'm doing this association by color. I don't think that's gonna work. How do I make it do what I want? Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it to tell me if the... Shoot.
Make sure he's not in the trash.
Yeah, go for it. Puppies, you know. Alright, so what if I do... I really don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have any tools in my toolbox yet to do this. But I really want to.
Well, we can just look at what we currently used before.
I guess like
Remember,
first.
look how this is
like,
kind of red, and that's kind of red.
Yeah.
This is a function. And
Oh,
this is also a function.
I'm here. Okay. Now I'm here. I just have to type correct word because it's already there. The red part's doing the whatever the commanding. Okay, so we want to find out if correct word includes. Can I go for a certain letter?
You have to be careful about spaces here because spaces mean. Remember, we'll look at correct word and then look at.
Oh, right. I have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Back. And then I'm gonna open up a string, I think, and say W, because I'm asking if the correct word, which is white, includes the letter W. I keep forgetting I can't just. It hasn't been defined.
So it's defined in the document, but I think what we have to do is we have to actually evaluate these individually.
Oh,
So go ahead and evaluate that. Because what's happening in the background is that I don't have to tell you what's happening in the background.
You can tell me.
You do have to just evaluate these things.
Okay.
So this is the concept of state.
State?
There's the state of the system that you're updating.
Oh, okay. Oops, I
You don't have to evaluate all of them. You just evaluate the parts.
We're evaluating all of them. Okay. Just so we know.
That's an easy way to do that.
I don't mind, honestly. I mean, I guess if this got really long eventually, I'd be like, I'm not about to do every single one of these, but.
Yeah.
Alright, so now that it knows what everything is. Aha!
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it does contain.
Did I do that properly, though?
Yeah. It works.
It works. Which means I did it properly? Okay. Because I'm not going to be able to programmers who make mistakes. No, I'm just kidding. I make a lot of mistakes. Alright, so now I've asked, does this closure string include the I guess the closure string is just like the closure string includes is like the namespace. The name
it's just where you're keeping all of these built-in functions.
Okay. Does it include okay, does the correct word include the letter W?
Yeah.
And that's true. Okay, so does the correct word include the letter J, for example?
Yeah.
Ugh, false.
Good.
So that works.
Yeah.
So how do I? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back to making that. Oh
So
gosh.
kind of understanding what's happening here. We have a function that takes a string and a substring. Cool. We just want to test a letter, so substring works for that.
Substring.
Yeah,
okay, is that what these are?
As a substring. So you could even type inside of after W, you can type in WH.
Oh, I can do that.
It would be able to tell you.
What? Oh gosh, what did I do? How did I end up here? I wish you had a home and end on this keyboard. It does.
Home is command left and then
command
end.
left.
Yeah.
Oh, this. Oh. I don't know what's happening.
Are you holding shift? Are you holding shift?
I'm doing command. Command.
Oh, it's because.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, because this editor's doing a lot. It's trying to do a lot for you.
I feel that.
So never
That's
mind.
fair. On a normal time, when you're not in the middle of code space and all that, it would do that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So this function, my little puppy boo, is doing.
Okay. So it does contain the substring WH.
Correct.
For our purposes, we just need a letter because that's what we're doing with Wordle.
With the Wordle,
That's
we
we're
need
just
the
trying to go letter by letter and seeing if that letter is
In
the correct word, so that we
in the
can,
correct word and in the correct space, and then in the correct word but not in the correct space.
Yeah, so that the space would be next.
Okay.
So we're just
Trying
that's
to
a
figure
good
out if it's
point.
in the word.
That is step 2. But to complete step 1, we also have to, instead of using a string like this, let's pull in an actual letter of our guess word.
Okay.
Like, does correct word contain this letter of the guess word?
Oh. Oh, wait. I have to pick a particular letter of the guess word?
Mhm.
Should I just like actually type an actual letter of the guess word? Should I ask it to do that for the... Hold on. How do I think I understand what you're asking. What? Yeah?
No, you're on the right track.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
that's a
should...
direct question. Good question.
Thanks. Okay, so I need it to... Oh, right. Okay. I think I'm back. Okay. How about the... I think I can do nth guess word and like the third letter. Right? Can I do that?
You can also check what the nth. You can check inside of there. So
Yeah,
you can
what is
evaluate
that?
You
Yeah,
can
I would
evaluate
like
that.
to find out what the... Okay, so
H.
it's H.
And then you could even go to correct word and see, okay, what's the correct word?
Yeah, and the... What is... I have
If you
to,
wanted to.
yeah, I kind of do, because I need to remember. Okay, so the correct word is white, and so does the third letter of the guess word,
Which is H.
which is 8, oh, sorry,
Yeah,
you
like
can't
3.
just, yeah, which is H, is that in the correct word? And all of that is true because our guess word is might, and so, that's interesting. Oh, right, I was like, how's that the third letter? But because 0, 1, 2, 3, right? 0 is M, 1 is I,
I'm so proud of you.
2 is G.
You just wrote all of that. That is so good. I like want to cry.
Aww.
So good.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm gonna type in nth guess word. That's how you love it. It's so good.
Thank you,
Good job.
Lovely.
Good job.
All right. I'm
So that
like
works.
already a programmer
Yeah.
or coder or whatever you
real.
guys call yourselves. Computer
So-
scientist. I don't know about all that.
So, what does this do for us?
Yeah, so now anytime we want to check a letter in the guess word and compare it to to find out if that letter is in the guess word, in the correct word at all, we can use this function closure string includes correct word and then ask if how do I describe it? I guess like if the nth guess word, if whatever letter we're asking for in the guess word is even in the correct word at all. So that's what we found out. Just if it's in the word at all. We don't know if it's in the right place and all that yet, which we'll get there eventually. But like, we do know we can ask, is this particular letter of the guess word, so nth guess word, will only be 0 through 4 because these are all 5-letter words in Wordle. So 0 through 4, and then is that in the correct word? So yeah, we can find out that for the second letter, which oops, okay, it's just G. Go for it. Turn the fan on. So. And then so we know that the nth guess word too, which is actually the third letter in the word itself, is G for the word might, because the guess word is might, right? And the second letter in that word is G, the second letter, the nth guess word second. And then the whole thing would be false because G is not in white.
Yeah.
So, I'm here for all of this.
So it would be good to name what this is right here. Or let me write an extra comment.
Oh, this is like this light is dripping.
I know.
Do you work like this
Why don't I
sometimes?
just turn on this guy and then maybe it'll circulate there.
Yeah, the fan's cool. We might just need to like get another source of light. I don't know. Okay, I just gotta adjust to that.
So this was kind of a higher level goal, and then this was a kind of a step. So
Okay.
what this is doing is
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's
Um,
write it down. Yeah, I feel like we identified if one of the letters in the guess word isn't the correct word at all.
yeah. So
Great.
okay. Now let's ask another question.
Yeah.
Let's say, is
Ooh, yeah, trickier. Okay, is it in the correct spot? Actually,
so
I'm.
we're just using the position 3. Let's just assume that
Yeah,
we're gonna test
because. Okay, alright. Okay, so actually, the letters that are in common would be the I, H, and T.
3.
I was just curious for myself, so I could actually know which ones would be in the right spot. So none of those would be in the right spot.
None of them are in the
Okay,
right spot.
but
So
they
that's
are
fine.
all in the word. Yeah, I just wanted to know if we had any
Yeah.
similarities, if any of them were in the right spot, so we could test that.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
Yeah, we can.
We should probably choose a word that at least has one letter in the correct spot, one letter in an incorrect spot, and one letter that's not in it at all. So we
Okay.
can kind of test all three.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I would love to be able to see it, say, yeah, that's it, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just always being like, nope. So, okay, I need to find a word that maybe has. Gosh.
We can also do another guess. We could do guess number 2, since there's so many guesses that we could throw at this thing.
True.
So we don't have to
Okay.
make sure all the colors are in one guess. We can just do.
Alright, yeah, fair
and
point.
and our guess doesn't even have to be a word right now.
So
Which
it's
is
the
also
letter.
another thing. We need to validate that a guess is an actual word.
Yeah,
so we
that'll
should
be
need a
another
bank of
next
like
step.
50,000 words or so.
Yeah, we'll have to pull that from
10, 5,000 words, probably. Yeah.
Who knows how many words Wordle has in their bank.
Yeah.
But we can pull that
Yeah.
library from somewhere.
Just from Wordle, I think we can open up the
Yeah.
network tab and look at the list of words they have.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
Alright, that's something we can look at later on. Alright, so is some letter of the guess word in the correct spot? Can I guess no, I want you to tell me a little bit. I was
So I'm
about
not going to
guess how
tell
it
you
is.
anything
Oh, okay,
because
because it's similar.
you have everything. If you scroll up,
I have everything that I need.
you have everything. You have all the parts that you need. Just have to be put together.
Okay.
There's no new things you have to.
Oh goodness! Look at me getting quizzed. All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with closure string. Oh gosh, don't fall. Of course, please. All right. And now we're asking if the letter of the guess word's in the correct spot. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. Okay. So let's try this. Let's open up and wait. I actually don't know if this will work. Okay, let me think about it. I can either do this and say and oh, I keep forgetting about the correct word. Correct word 3, which I want to evaluate that real quick, which is T. Okay. And then I think I'm.
You're such a closure programmer now. You're just like, let me see what this value is. You can't do that in any other language.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you.
Really? That's a specific closure thing?
This is definitely this is a
Well,
closure.
I'm a
thing.
fan of closure, babe. Closure's
Yeah,
the way.
You can't just
low-key.
evaluate things while you're typing stuff.
I love it. I think
Yes.
that's the best. Oh, right, because I didn't do the duh. Had to put a number in there. Okay, my bad. Okay. All right, I don't know if this will work because I don't know if I did this properly. I don't know. Let's find out though. Okay. I mean, it's giving me false, but I don't know if it's giving me false for the right reason.
It's really good. It's very close.
It's close. I feel like it's not it.
It technically works.
I feel like I don't need.
Works.
I feel like I'm doing. I feel like that might undo that. Okay, I needed that back. Oh, I have to actually do this all over again, don't I? Give you the bar for. That's all right. For now, I will retype that because I made my own mistake.
You just have to delete.
Okay. Yeah, I just feel like I don't know how to,
No, it will technically work every time.
But that's not the right way I should do it.
I mean, yeah. There's just one thing missing. You want to have spaces in between. Just asking.
Okay, cool. I didn't know about that. I thought that was a bad thing. Okay, I had it reversed in my head. Cool. I just was feeling like I feel like I should have done. Or I had the inkling at first to do kind of like we did in this one and just kind of having correct word 3, but then that didn't make sense because like how could I do the nth thing? But then I feel like there shouldn't have been parentheses or something. I feel like I should be, because like I want this to evaluate. I don't know. I feel like there's another way that this could be done without maybe this, at least this first. I don't know, parentheses.
With this what?
I feel like, okay, yeah. I feel like
there's really
I
no
have an
other way
inkling
that
that there's another way
part,
it could be done.
Right? It's like, I'm
well,
getting
I
the
have
third
to do
letter.
the nth, yeah.
I'm getting the the fourth letter because it's...
Right, because, yeah,
right.
0, 1, 2, 3, yeah, I get it.
So you're just getting the fourth letter
Mm-hmm.
of each word. So that's fine.
Oh.
It's fine by itself. So those aren't the issue.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to tell you.
You're mad annoying. I'm just kidding, you're not annoying at all.
What does includes do?
Yeah, that's the thing. So I think I'm asking if it includes, I guess, like, if the symbol includes a string of some kind, right?
Yeah, if it contains another string.
Another string.
So,
but I asked, I
how big are each of these strings?
What?
Like how many characters in it?
Oh.
Remember, like, this accepts a substring. Remember? This as a second argument. And we gave it like a W, but we also gave it a WH.
Okay,
right?
I see. So I should have done... Right.
I guess I'm just saying, like, we're just dealing with letters, right? Like one letter and then another letter. I'm just comparing one letter to another letter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're saying, does this letter contain that other letter? I was like, yeah, technically that's right. Like, the letter W does contain the letter W. But you're trying to compare them by saying, like, are they the same letter? Right? So you're using includes as a function to ask if these two letters are the same or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's a better function for comparing two different letters to see if they're the same letter.
These are the strings.
Huh?
The strings.
Yeah, just to see if those strings are the same. And if you scroll up, you can find a function just to see if...
Oops.
See
like
if,
this.
If
oh, it equals.
Yes.
Oh, so I didn't need the includes at all.
Yeah. That's like includes technically works, right?
It does technically work, but it's not what I'm
the letter W does contain the letter W.
Oh, yeah. I see. Oh, bummer. I really wanted to get that. All right. I think this might work. I might need to do the string thing. I'm not sure. Let me find out first. Okay, it's false, but I don't know if that's for the right reason.
Right, so we can...
I don't know. I'm bummed.
Why?
I don't know. I just wanted to get that right.
You did get it right. If you wrote a bunch of tests, it would never fail a test.
Okay.
It always works.
But right? It's not like the proper... There's like a better way I could do that.
You just didn't simplify it. But you wrote the right answer.
Okay.
This is fine.
I didn't simplify. I get it. Like in a math equation, finally.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you wrote everything correctly. You just got the first symbol the first symbol isn't even wrong because it works.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So is this how this is supposed
great.
to be done?
You wrote a correct function first try.
I mean, I'm like kind of a programmer now or whatever.
I know. And you're like, oh, let me check my work to see if this argument is like, am I doing the right thing? It's such a pleasure.
Thanks.
Alright.
Try.
Okay, so we have
two
2 things here. We have something that lets us know. And notice.
If this is
notice.
Yeah, what? Okay, hold on.
Oh, actually, does this tell us?
No.
Green or yellow, right?
Green tells you. No. Green. Wait, hold on. In some letter of the guess word in the correct word. Oh, yeah, I guess it could be green or yellow.
Yeah, because it's like.
Yeah, it could be in the word, but not. Yeah, so green or yellow.
Just how we wrote the function.
Correct.
Okay.
And this one is.
Green.
Yes. Okay. Progress.
Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to write a function.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see how we've been using other people's functions this whole time? Def, first, all the red ones.
Mm-hmm.
Equals, and
closure string includes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to write our own function.
We're going to write our own? We're going to make our own red thing?
Yeah.
We're going to write our own function. F of something. Yeah. Okay.
So.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna do
that?
is we're gonna say.
I'm excited.
So we're building layers now, right? So
layers.
We've just been using existing functions, and we're just been writing
great.
these, like, they're called expressions. Each of these things that we're writing, these are expression. Okay. This thing inside is an expression. Everything is an expression. But we've just been playing with these kinds of things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go a level up now. We're gonna define a new thing. It's similar to how we were defining
what correct word and guess
correct word are. We're going to define a symbol which actually doesn't map to a string or a plain value. We're going to map it to a function.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be like an executable thing.
Very cool.
Okay. So let's first learn how to create a function, and then we will write a function which will tell us what color the nth letter should be.
Okay.
So that's kind of our goal.
All right.
Like, at the end of this stream, we're going to have a function that tells us what color a letter should be.
Okay.
Pretty exciting.
Very.
Okay.
All right.
So we're gonna just define. We're gonna define a plain function that just does something very simple. A function is something that receives values, and then it returns some value.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a mathematical function.
I see. Okay.
Taking in something and then giving you something else.
Got it.
A function takes in x and it produces y. So when you plot it, but it can receive multiple values. But it's a mathematical thing. So we're going to define a function. So go ahead and open up parentheses because we're going to
open paren.
Open paren.
Just like when you say that.
Okay.
Okay.
And then def n. How did you know how to spell that?
Because I've looked over your shoulder too many times while you're working.
Def n.
I could have spelled it a different way, but I'm like kind of smart.
Deafening. Deafen.
I'm like define.
I was expecting you to type deafen.
Like D-F-I-N.
Like silence is deafening.
Oh. Wait, I forgot the A.
Yeah. Anyway.
That would have been so much more.
You
cool.
missed the cue. That's okay.
Bummer. I'm
okay.
too smart.
And then space, and then we're gonna give it a name. So this is gonna be the name of our function.
We're gonna name this function.
So,
okay. What do we want to call it? Correct spot.
Huh? Correct spot.
No. I don't
Oh, you
want
want to jump into just creating a
Oh, I don't know. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
No,
Let's do
I
that.
thought no. Let's follow what you were gonna. What were you gonna do? I'm curious now.
Let's just say foo. So this is a
Foo.
tradition of programming. Whenever
Foo.
you don't, when you're just trying to learn something,
Okay.
you have placeholder names.
Okay.
So
Foo.
programmers have foo, and then they have bar, and then they have baz, and then it's just whenever. you're
Okay.
just
Are we
trying to
talking
learn something.
foo?
Yeah.
Or are we
F-O-O.
talking foo?
Yeah. That one.
Wait, and then bar, and then baz.
B-A-Z.
Baz. Y'all are a special kind of
Yeah.
breed of people. All right.
I know.
Why foo? Because I was thinking foo bar. You know, like foo bar is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
thinking like F-U-B-A-R.
Yeah, that would be the correct way to spell it.
But y'all are like,
because
nah,
it's-
we're cool, so we're gonna do
I
foo.
don't know, maybe they're like 3-letter words.
Minus
or
the
something.
D.
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna defin foo, and then what are we doing? Am I just gonna evaluate that or what? No, there's nothing
space.
to evaluate yet, right?
So we're just remember this is a sentence, and all sentences have their own kind of structure, but
Mm-hmm.
they all use kind of the same syntax. So the syntax is like it's a list of things. So the first part of the list is defin because it's like okay, I'm going to define function.
Okay.
Second part, according to the grammar of this thing that we're doing, the second part is going to be the name. The third part is going to be a list of things that it receives.
That it receives.
Yeah, it's
okay.
inputs.
Inputs.
Um,
Okay, so cool.
So we're gonna see a new type of paren. It's not gonna be a round paren. It's gonna be square brackets.
oh, we love these.
so-
Is that
so
whole
this
guy?
is yeah. So okay, one thing to learn about this. Remember when I said that there's like symbolic things and then there's literal things. Okay, the only literal things that I've shown you are just plain data,
Strings. Oh, and data.
and then numbers. Right, numbers. Right, these numbers that we use.
Yeah.
Numbers.
Can't letters be plain data too?
strings. Huh?
Like an individual letter, can it be plain data? Or no?
Well, when you type a letter like this, that's still a symbol.
It's still a symbol.
Still a
wow. So only if it's inside of a string is
Yeah,
it?
it has to
Like,
be inside of a string.
okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Good to know.
Okay. So
Sorry.
literal, symbolic. And I only gave you 2 symbolic because these are the only 2 symbolic ones, symbol and list. But a list is a collection. You can also have a literal collection, meaning it just means what it is. So that's what a vector is for. Sorry. Square brackets are vectors.
Okay.
Round parens are lists. And they're interpreted different ways.
Lists and vectors.
Yeah.
Okay, and vectors are for what? Sorry. Lists. Okay, so explain a vector
It's just
again.
a different kind of list.
Okay. I feel like you told me this before when you were explaining closure to me the first time.
Really? Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
we found that document later
I
on.
did. Yeah. I sent it to you on iMessage.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay, so briefly re-explain what a vector is.
A
You say
vector
it's different kind of
is
list,
just
but
a literal
like-
list.
A literal list. Okay,
You can
and
kind of see it that
the parentheses are symbolic. Can contain symbolic lists.
Yeah.
Or literal lists.
Yeah. I'll tell you more about the differences that matter, but for now,
Okay.
just think of it as a literal list.
A literal list.
And then
I feel like that sounds like a what'd you call that political party? A literalist.
a literal list.
I'm a literalist. I'll have you know.
I'm a symbol list.
Symbolist, yeah, it sounds like some kind of stance for something.
Yeah.
Alright. We got symbolists and literalists. Vectors and parentheses.
Because if I was receiving a list of things, if I'm trying to specify a list of things that this function is going to receive,
Mm-hmm.
and let's just type it out. Let's
Okay.
just say A and B.
Spaces or
A and then it's B. Okay. So it takes 2 parameters, and I'm going to call them A and B, right? But if those are in parentheses, it would kind of be confusing, because I interpret things that are in parentheses as commands, right? So if I saw A and B inside of there, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to evaluate this as a command. I'm going to, because I'm an evaluator, I think like a computer. If I see a parentheses, I'm going to say, oh, this is actually, like, A is like the name of the command, and then B is
Confusing
going
it.
to be like the thing that's like passed through the thing. So it's like, it's so when I see a literal list, that would be confusing to me. So I think it's a good idea for this language to have like a different type of list, just to communicate visually that this is just a plain list. This is not.
It's not a list.
This is not a special list,
Okay.
right?
Gotcha.
Okay. So.
Okay.
So as part of the grammar of this thing that creates functions, the third parameter is going to be just the list of things that it receives. And the reason why it's in the square brackets is just to communicate to you.
There's a plain list.
This is
There's
a plain
no
list.
special.
Like, don't do anything special. This is
Alright.
just.
This is just
These are names.
raw
this is a
data.
list of names. Yeah.
Okay.
Raw data. Yeah.
I got it.
Cool.
All right. So we're gonna deafen. What does that stand for? I have to know so I don't say deafen all the time.
It actually stands for define function, right? So
Okay.
you already have a def command, right?
Yeah. So def is define, right?
Define, but and then so
And def
Can
n
I-
is define function.
can I tell you something
Yeah,
that
tell me.
maybe you shouldn't know too early,
Okay.
but I want to tell you.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so I'll actually just do this. So this is short for def foo fn ab. And let's just put some dots in here because dot dot dot. This is stuff that we're gonna fill in later. But this is the same as this. So whenever they combine the def and the fn, they're like, okay, def n. Okay. So we've already learned def, right?
Oh, I
we
see, I see,
define
I see.
foo as and then whatever this value is. So this is the way that you can create something
function.
like a function that is unnamed, but this is kind of a sugar. They call it syntactic sugar, where it's
For real,
like,
you'll actually say
it's
that.
shorthand, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you see a lot of shorthand like this, but in case you're curious, that's
I am.
where that came from. Def n is kind of a combination of these two,
Um,
but it also works because it's like define function. And
Gotcha.
because you define so many functions, it's like let's just create a shorthand for this.
Okay. Very cool.
You want to keep that?
No.
Okay.
Just wanted that for my memory bank.
Yeah. And now I'll delete this.
I don't think it's gonna let you do it like that. The highlighted way, you
Why?
tried and it wasn't letting you. I think you had some space or whatever.
Okay. I like this program.
Me too.
It's good.
Good. Maria, our friend. I like her. Alright, so what are we doing? I forgot. Okay, so yeah, this is as far as I think we've explained so
This
far.
tool is created by Germans.
Oh.
Closure people in Germany. There's a
Why,
lot
thank you
of closure people all over
To
here.
the German closure community.
Matt Hubert.
It's a cool name.
Yeah.
Hughes. I like some Hughes.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Isn't it?
That's so cool.
That's so cool. Matt Hubert, thank you.
All right, we're gonna finish this function.
Alright.
I think all I want this function to do is to just give it a number. Just say 1. It's gonna return 1.
Okay.
Like I don't care what you give me. It's just gonna return 1 every
Like
time.
that?
Yeah, just to give you an idea of what this thing is.
Oh,
And then-
I messed up.
Why? No.
It just gave me foo back.
Yeah. Okay, this is cool. So you just define something, but you haven't used it yet. You define something that you can use.
Okay.
So in the next line, just hit enter.
Ah,
And
so
then-
now I can do the same thing?
So now you're defining the same thing again. So what you
Oh,
do?
yeah, why did I do that? Okay.
So-
Wait, that doesn't make sense. So how...
So now use your function. Just use it.
Oh, right, that makes sense.
Okay.
Oops.
So this is that's close.
No.
So whenever you pass in the arguments, it's kind of like, you see how this one, nth, is correct word, it receives 2 parameters, 2 arguments.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So
I don't need the
even though there are
vector.
brackets here, it's just trying to say this is what I'm receiving.
Gotcha.
But,
Okay, I just need to do like
yeah.
that. Or can I...
But A and B aren't defined.
Oh.
This is just something that the function will, like whatever you pass in, it will be able to refer to it as A. Whatever you pass in for the second one, it will be referred to it as B. You're assigning names to things that are being received. So for here, you can pass in anything. Yeah, you can
So
pass
I
in
did that. Oh, wow.
But you need another argument because it takes two of them. So
I'm so confused.
I know it's confusing.
I mean, I kind of get it, but I'm just like, okay.
Okay.
All right.
You see, so here,
I gotcha.
what is A and B going to be?
So A is the first thing that I type in, and B is the second thing that I type in.
Right. So A is going to be
Like the first number or letter or whatever.
right, which is
Oh, A is 1 and B is 2. Sorry.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, no matter what we put in, it's going to return 1, right?
What do you mean no matter what we put in?
Oh, because it's not making use of any of these. You notice how it's just going to return 1 every time?
Oh,
That's what you
because,
told it?
yeah, because I told it. Okay.
So,
So even if I had done, like, no matter what, if I had put, like, if I had done 3 and 4, it would still give me 1 because I told it that
yeah, so
this is 1. Okay.
it's not a very good function,
Yeah,
but
it's
it is
kind
a
of,
function.
all right.
But I'm just kind of showing you the ropes.
Showing us what's
Yeah.
what.
So,
What it be doing?
just for you to get an idea of the structure of a function, it's just def n, name, parameters it receives, value returned. Yeah. So those are the 4 things. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
So okay.
For your challenge, just return the sum of A and B instead of just 1.
Ooh.
So foo is now going to be like a sum function, or it will be a sum function.
What? Okay. So I gotta return the sum. Wait, hold on. I think I want to do. Wait, hold on. I think I want to do this.
And call it sum.
Oh, I have to
So
call it
it's-
sum.
So it's intelligible. Yeah.
Wah? No, I don't know how to do that. Wait, no. I think I need to do this. Oops. Sum hasn't been defined because, okay, that makes sense.
What are you trying? What?
I don't
What
know.
is the challenge?
To find the sum of.
I can just type it out.
Okay.
Can I delete this one?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Okay.
Whoa.
Sorry.
You left the chat. Oh, I was supposed to define a function called sum first.
That
Oh,
returns
okay. I didn't know I was
a
supposed to define it first. I was like,
sum
what?
of 2 numbers. There you go.
Alright, now I know my goal. That's helpful.
Yeah, it's helpful to just like know what we're doing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so, alright. We're back now. So we're defining the word sum as, no, that would be plain text. Is that what I want?
What's plain text?
The vector?
It's not.
Or not, like, I mean like plain data.
Yeah.
Okay, like what I want it to receive as an input is what vectors are for.
This is
It's
hard to
complicated.
explain. Yeah, this is hard to explain.
Oh
But-
man, so
but-
complex.
But
Okay.
what I do want to say
Okay.
is that if you were to just to show this, I might have explained that way too early, right? So the only difference between these two is that this looks confusing because
Yeah.
now it's kind of interpreting this as like the first one. So
It's all very confusing, honestly.
yeah.
Okay.
Again, I might have explained this too early. I should have just said whenever you're specifying the number of the inputs that this function is receiving, you just put it in square brackets, and then I could have left it at that. You might have asked later, like, why square brackets? So where do the square brackets come from?
No,
and
I
then we could have like gone into it, but like you just have to use square brackets for the list of things that this function is receiving, and then the second layer to that would be because the parentheses would be confusing. So like it's just helpful to have another kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then The third layer, I would have been like, this is a literal collection and not a symbolic collection.
Gotcha.
And then I could have kept going. But
Okay.
so you just have to use square brackets
For
the parameters or arguments that are being received by the function.
what is going to receive.
Yeah.
Lethal too.
You're actually giving it a list of names to call the arguments that it's taking.
It's a list of names to call the argument.
Right, so A is the name of 1, B is the name of 2.
Okay. Alright. Oh.
We can learn about curly.
Moving on to the big wigs here. Too fast. I'm not ready for that yet. Alright, here's my thought, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know. Can I find out what this will do first? Shoot. Okay.
Well, look at what you just evaluated. You can think like a computer. You can look at that thing in isolation. You can look at this in isolation, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at, and they're like, A hasn't been defined. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Let me just.
I told you it has 4 parts, right?
Yeah.
The first part always has to be def n. The second part is just your name, so you got those 2 parts. The third part is the list of things it receives. The fourth part is the value that is returned. Yeah.
I just don't know.
So.
Okay, so the list of things that it would receive for the sum would be, for example, AB. And the value I want it to return is if these two are equal.
Well, read the description again. What is the sum function doing?
So we're defining what the sum function is. And this is the list of things I want the sum function to receive.
Yeah.
So I want the sum function to, in this case, receive A and B.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want it to return. Oh, okay. If A is equal to B.
Returns the sum of 2.
The sum of 2 numbers.
Because the function is called sum.
Yeah.
So we're going to return the sum of them. A sum means addition.
I know.
Okay.
Wow.
You have so many things in your head right now because this is all very new, and I'm just trying to.
The sum means addition.
Well, like the sum could actually mean like you're combining strings. It could mean any kind of combination. So.
I just don't get.
What don't you get?
Because I don't know how to make it tell me what I. What?
We didn't learn that function. We didn't learn sum.
How to add.
So that's why.
Yeah,
So,
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so what if it was.
What would you guess?
Equals. Okay, sorry. Equals.
You don't have to put equals.
Oh, I really thought equals was important.
Because equals means.
A plus B then.
Equals means you're seeing if 2 things are the same, right?
Yeah, that's what I was trying
Remember?
to do, I guess.
Right. So A plus B, right?
That's what I should have done?
That's how you do it.
This whole time!
So A plus B
Okay.
doesn't work because.
Oh, it doesn't work. This is still wrong.
Yeah. No. You're about to learn something really cool here.
You're the best soft telling me that I'm wrong.
Well, it's so close to being right, but
definitely
it's
not.
for a good reason.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. So
We're about to learn
I'm on the
something
right
very new.
track. But I haven't
It's
said
gonna be
it.
fun.
Well,
And
when you
I
say it's gonna be
still
fun.
think that we're gonna be able to make time. Write this function by the end.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm feeling.
That we're on track here.
We're going somewhere.
Okay. So, if
So
you
difficult.
wanted, so plus is kind of the function that we're going to be using.
Yeah.
But whenever we add numbers today, in the real world, we always like put the plus sign in between every number that we want to add together, right? Like
Right.
A plus B plus C plus D plus E.
Mm-hmm.
And then but that function name, which is a plus sign, we put it inside between parameters. but in Clojure, we put that at the beginning. So we say plus AB. Right?
Oh, y'all are weird and stuff. Cool,
Right.
cool, cool.
Right.
Like that?
Right. But anytime you call a function, you have to put it inside of
Parentheses.
Right. So you say parentheses, and then you have to say plus and AB.
Why didn't I think
But
of any of that?
because of functions, because remember, in order for you to have a list of things, you have to have spaces in between the things that are items.
Mm-hmm.
And he uses the spaces to say that, okay, this is the first
separate
form, this is
thing.
the second form, this is the third form.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
So
need spaces.
yeah,
In between the B?
spaces.
Maybe.
Hmm?
Oh, no, not there.
And you can use the colors to see. But okay, so you have that
Like
one.
that?
Yeah. And that's big. Okay.
Like
So you
that.
have, yeah. So you have plus A and then B.
Oh, why are you so extra?
Huh?
Closure is so like specific. I like it. It's just like
But yeah, it's very consistent.
It is
It's very
consistent.
simple. It's almost too simple.
It is
because
very
like we wanna do all these like special things, but it needs one thing. It just needs a list of things where the first thing is symbol, the name of the function, and then
Okay.
So the interesting thing about this, I don't know if this is too much to tell you, but it's like you can give it a
wow.
bunch of things, and you don't have to put a bunch of plus signs in between.
You can just
because it's
tell
just
it.
A, B, C, plus D.
Okay.
And then if you're like, oh, actually, I don't want to add them anymore. I actually want to multiply them.
Oh.
Right? So like you can multiply them, you can divide them, A divided by B divided by B, and then it's like A minus B minus C minus C.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
That's
so
really cool.
Even though it is unfamiliar, there are still some benefits to doing it in a very explicit way. Explicit. It's in a structured way,
Okay.
consistent to this idea.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. All right, use
Wow. Now I gotta use it too. Okay, hold on. I'm asking. Wait, no, I'm not defining. I'm not defining.
it.
I'm not defining. I'm using it. I already forgot how to do this. No wait. What's the sum of A? Oh no. Why? How? What? Oh, I forget. Okay.
So add together. Give me the sum of 1 and 2.
It's 3.
With the computer. Tell the computer to give you the sum of 1 and 3. 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I should just do this instead of the plus. Oh, because the plus is what the sum was. I don't know, babe. Don't listen to me. It's not a function. Why is this happening?
I hate code.
I do too. Okay, hold on. I think I need to do this.
What is A and B?
I don't
What
know.
are A and B?
I haven't told it.
I told you.
What
I
is-
told you to add. I told you to give me the sum of 1 and 2, and then you gave it A and B.
Okay, alright. I hate this thing! It's so smart! In such a dumb way. Why? Ugh.
In such a dumb way.
Okay,
Dumb.
because like, no, it's not dumb. I'm sorry. I take that. I retract. But because like, okay. Because I told it to define the sum. Now I see why it sounds
It
stupid.
takes.
No, because now I get why I didn't get it.
What you doing?
Because
right
I was
now-
like, I told it to define what the sum of A and B are. And then I was like, trying to tell it to do A and B. But then, like, I forgot. Because, like, A refers to the first thing and B refers to the second thing. Okay, so I could do that with any numbers then, right? I could define the sum of, like, 14 and, like, 257 or something crazy like that. Okay, I get it. A isn't literally A. A is a symbol for the first number that I give it, and B is a symbol for the second number that I give it. It's not literally A and B.
Right.
The
It's
letters.
almost like
Okay. Now I feel like I was crapping on
Yeah,
it for
I
no good
didn't-
reason.
Yeah, I didn't explain that part at all.
You did say when you were describing this, the vector of A and B, that you were inputting A and B and then telling it what you wanted to put out, which is 1.
Yeah.
And that when we were putting out, or when we were using this function foo, that A represented the 1 and B represented the 2,
Mm-hmm.
and that it was always going to spit out 1 because that's what we told it to spit out.
Mhm.
So, you did tell me that. I just like didn't use it. Hopefully, I think my boys are getting sleepy.
So
Anyway.
this is kind of the.
Ugh, super annoying.
So we just went a level up.
Okay,
where
though.
we were just using functions, but now we're defining.
Defining
it.
a function
we
and
kinda
being
have
able to use our
to-
own defined functions.
We get a little bit more abstract when we talk about creating things that will be used, like the level below it, because it's like, okay, this is
Yeah.
abstract now. Like I have to think in terms of like these values that will be later,
Mhm.
and I'm defining these things as like what will be returned, right? And then once you're down here, you're like, okay, now I'm dealing with like actual values that I'm going to give it. So
Okay.
this is kind of
I
literal
see.
world, and this is kind of symbolic
Symbolic.
world. So you
The
kind of have to,
symbolic world.
yeah, exactly. With Jonathan Pasha.
There you go. To the
Welcome
voice.
to the symbolic world.
I like it.
So
Okay.
this is symbolic world, and this is literal world, kind of, because you're using.
Yeah, I get
you're
it.
kind of
I'm kind of
making it-
using. I'm making something that I'm about to use.
This is abstract, and this is concrete.
Yeah. Okay.
You can think of it that way. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
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 Alright.
Please define a function that gives me the product of 2 numbers, please.
Okay, I'm going to what did I do? How did I end up here? I'm going to define. Can you do your thing and type that part? The instructions.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I don't know how you do that.
Oh.
How do you?
And you have to hit enter again to go into.
Oh, enter. I kept doing backspace. Oops. Alright. Yeah, tell me what I'm supposed to do. Well, thank you for telling me what it was going to be called.
Yeah.
Look at you being nice. Give me a little freebie tonight. Alright, so now we're going to define we're going to define a function that's called prod. That, okay, returns. Yeah. Oh, I keep wanting to go to the curly brackets. Ooh, that's a good question. Hold on. Do I need to do that? Hold on. Oh, let me scroll down a little bit. Turns the product to numbers. So when given A and B, so 2 individual numbers, I want it to return to me. The sum. I don't think that's how that's supposed to be done. Sum.
So I didn't even tell you how to multiply numbers together.
We're multiplying?
Yeah, the product.
Oh, the product means multiply. Sum means addition. It's too late at night. We're calling it. No, don't try to simplify it down. It's 3:30 in the morning. Okay. Have grace, y'all. It's early in the morning. By that I mean it's like 3:30 a.m. and very late at night. Oh wow. Okay, that changes everything. Okay. So I'm going to assume. I actually don't know. That's a good point. I guess. Okay, let's assume. Wait, no. I think I liked that better. Maybe? I don't freaking know what I'm doing in this world. Okay, define a function called product. So we're defining that product. Oh, shoot. No. When given A, B, will return to me will give me the product of A and B. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright. That's what that's going to be. We defined what product was. Okay, now I want to use it. Can I do that? Can I move on?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay. Alright. And we're going to try. Oh, wait. I need to get me a cell phone.
Get in the hang of this.
So now I wanted to do product of 1 and 2. I think. It should be 2. Okay, let's try some other ones to make sure it's actually doing what I wanted to do. Let's try the product of 4 times 5. Yeah, I think I did it.
Cool.
Did I do it right?
You did.
Is there something I could have done better or different?
No, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Really?
That's good.
I did it? I just had to realize that product was multiplication and not addition. And once I got there, I was
Yeah.
look at me.
1, 2, 3, 4. So.
Defined.
That's late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just counting grammars. Yeah, so it's very simple. There's just 4 parts to it. It's the first part is def-n, second part's the name, third part is what it receives, and then the fourth part what it gives.
Okay.
That's it.
I think I can follow that.
Yeah.
That thread.
So-
That's why I was like talking myself through it. Like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be given,
Yeah.
and then this is what it's gonna
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
tell me. So
Yeah.
that helped me kind of walk through it.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm over here
Yeah.
defining. I want to define some more. I'm about to. I'm about to be
let's
over here
define-
defining all kinds of stuff. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so now
Let's make some more fun functions,
Now you're
eh?
just gonna. This is how we're gonna apply. Define a function
Okay. I'm excited.
called mean
With a question mark.
that determines if that receives a correct word.
Correct letter,
Sorry.
right? Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, correct or. Wait, what? I'm gonna let you finish it.
The letter.
A letter of the guess word in the correct spot of the correct word, right? I don't know. I want you actually.
Let's say letter position.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's just call that n. And returns true if
Okay, so you're saying, let me make sure I understand what you're saying here. So it sounds like you're saying, but I feel like it could be interpreted a different way, but it sounds like you're saying you want to define a function called green that receives a correct word.
Mhm.
So it receives what the correct word is. It also receives a guess word, so it receives what the guess word is that they put in. And then it also receives a letter position.
yeah,
Okay,
which is a number
which is a number
between
0 to 4.
How many letters are in word?
5.
Okay, so 0.
0 to 4. Remember defining it as n, and then it will return true if the letter at position n is green,
Yeah.
which means that the letter in the guess word is in the correct spot of the correct word.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof, man, this function green does a lot of things. Alright, so we're gonna define. Oh, I'm already doing this wrong. We're gonna I keep forgetting I need a parentheses for everything. We're gonna define a function called green, and it's going to.
Green?
Oh right. Oh gosh, look at me doing all kinds of stuff. So it actually is supposed to be with the question mark. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's kind of
Why?
the convention. It's like The question mark is communicating that it will return either true or false. It's a
Oh.
question. Like, is this
Okay.
green? So,
Really?
Yeah, it's just.
It's a question that I'm actually asking it. Okay. So define green. That receives. Can I do this? Let me find out if I can do this. Oh, I'm already not doing that. The thing, it's not doing that. Okay, define. Okay, so, oh, I forget. Which receives correct word. Can I do this? No, I don't want to do that. Okay, let's try this then. Define, receives the correct word. Can I do this?
Oh my gosh, why are you peeing on the
Ew.
carpet? You
Ew.
gotta let us know.
Dude.
Oh.
This is a really annoying bad dog.
Oh, that's never happened
I
before.
know, I'm like really upset right now.
No.
There's
Let's
a-
just take them out.
Why do you do that? Twice in one
I've
day.
never seen that.
Ugh, let me use the towel. Pardon this interruption. Ew. How do you do that? That's so not something you do. Bubba, go potty. Come on, Bubba. Go potty. Okay. Go, baby. Go away. Oh my god, I can't believe you just did that. Straight up casually peed on the carpet. I think I just got it out pretty quickly though. Fascinating. Okay. Why would he do that? Why would he not just drink the milk? Why would he just catch it? Maybe he's suffering from some kind of incontinence. I don't know. It's very unusual for him to do that. I don't even remember where it's at. So I think I got it all up. That's right there. I feel like I need to define the letter positions. Okay. I'm just gonna leave this right there for a moment. Oh, hi. Okay. Yeah, we had an incident. With our puppy. Booski. Little boobers. You still smell it? Well, I tried. I mean, I think I got the liquid off the carpet. He peed in here too? Are you kidding? Where's that bell? Yeah, why are they not ringing the bell? It's super weird. Why you don't use the bell? You gotta use the bell. You know what the bell's for. You know when to use the bell. I don't have to retrain you to use the bell. Use the bell, okay? You use the bell when you got a potty. Oh, you use the bell. Ring the bell. Bubba, ring the bell. Oh, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about, puppy. More ringing the bell. Okay? Whiskey. Ring
Okay.
the bell. No, don't run away from me. You're supposed to ring the bell. Yeah. You're supposed to ring it, puppy. I should count or something.
Yeah, I guess it's
Punishment.
punishment.
Or something. Yeah, come on. Come on. Let's go.
Alright, we'll just finish this up.
Yeah, sorry. What a fun live stream, huh? All the exciting things going on. Should I finish this thought or?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, sorry, one person.
Hey, you never know. You know, later on and stuff. All right, so my thought is this, but I think my thought's already wrong. But my thought was...
He's right so far.
Okay. My only thought is just that I don't think we've defined what the letter position is yet. So I feel like I need to define that first. To define this N.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I need to define what the letter position is before I can define what green is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The letter position is one parameter, so you need to... You can either put a hyphen... I can just let you keep typing and then...
Oh, right. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is long, right?
It is super long.
So it's good to shorten it. So I would just call... You mind if I just kind of
Go for
guide you there? I would call the first one just correct. Just call it correct instead of correct word.
Okay.
Just for shorthand. And then the second one is going to be probably guess. And then this one, since I've already kind of put it in parentheses, is the N. Just call it N.
Okay.
So it's kind of shorthand, but
That's
it's
convenient.
good to have short. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so that's the first
after
part.
this one, go ahead and just press enter.
The whole thing?
Just right here, press enter.
Okay. Press enter.
Just enter. Okay, this is going to go to the next line.
Oh.
It's just nice to use multiple lines. Everything that we've been doing up to this point is just pretty simple. Pretty
But we're about to get
basically
complex.
one-line programming. But here we're defining a real function, so it's nice to just have room to write some extra stuff, because it's going to be longer than some of the other ones. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all you have left now is the fourth part,
Mm-hmm.
defining function.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so okay. Then it returns to me. I don't have to tell it true or false, do I? Because that's what the question mark is doing.
Right.
If the letter at position N is green.
So
I want it to return to me, I guess, true or false. But I don't need to tell it that. Okay, so I'm defining a function called green. Defining green that receives the correct word, the guess word, and letter position, and it returns true if the letter at position N is green. If the letter, okay, so it returns to me that N is.
we've already written this, so if you scroll up, you can kind of just see, like, trying to just pull from what you've already done. Okay. So keep scrolling.
I mean, I'm sure it's. Oh, the nth thing, huh? Okay. So probably all of this.
Which one?
All of this.
Yeah.
For example. Okay. Alright. Alright, so I want it to return to me if nth. Do I still have to say correct word? I guess not, huh? Right? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I do. I don't know yet.
You want to use what's been given to you, and only those.
Okay.
No,
No?
that's wrong. Because you called the first one correct.
Okay.
So you're using that one. So you have to use the names that you are receiving, right?
Oh, okay. I feel like I need to do so many more things, and my brain is like done with me. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's
I feel it is dead. I feel like I need to do if. I feel like I want to use an equal to and an end somewhere, but I just haven't figured out where yet. So like something
You can
like
copy and paste everything that you've already written.
that's what I
Do
was
it that
thinking.
way.
That is just like this whole line right here.
So just
But I don't. Okay, I can change that though, right? Oh wow, fun times on the MacBook. Okay.
and then just select it. Yeah, there you
In the
Delete.
front, yeah, delete that. Okay, and then hold on, then paste that, and then I don't necessarily want it to do.
go. Yeah, you just have to rename some things.
Am I asking the right? Okay, so when given the correct or the guess word in the letter, and I want it to return true if the letter is being. Oh, okay. So maybe I want to say, and the correct n is that,
Mm-hmm.
and then nth guess n.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So now we can test it. Yeah.
Wow, that's
What
right.
do you think?
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Because
oh
we're
wow.
defining a function called green, which is
Okay,
it's
giant
going to
function called green, where we, when given the correct, the guess, and the n,
yeah.
which we described what those are, then it will give me if the nth, any nth of the correct word, and any position n of the correct word, nth, I don't know how to say it, but like I get what is happening,
Yeah.
is equal to any position n of the guess word, whatever
That's good.
nth number I give
Yeah.
it in the guess word, if those two are equal to each other. I think. Oh, sorry. I'm constantly touching your glasses. All right.
So,
How else would? Okay.
so I mean, this could have been done easier if we just used the what are called the global names. So it would only receive one parameter, which is the n, and then we could have just said correct word and then guess word. You know what I mean? So it's
Wow,
making
just
use.
like that.
It's making use of like the. It's making use of the what are called the global names, or the names that are already defined up here.
Okay.
So then we could just say green, and then 1, so it would check the 1th position, and then the 0th position. So we would just say
So I don't need to give it the correct
right.
guess
So
word.
yeah,
Why?
but
So because n just covers it all.
because of how it treats names, it's like okay, this is a name. I know where that name is, so I'm just going to use that because you've already defined that to mean up here. So it kind of has.
No, but why does
Okay.
why does n can just the letter n here replace the correct guess and n? Like how would it know if this is the correct that I'm giving it or the guess that I'm giving it or just the n, the letter position? Versus, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how would it know that I'm asking specifically or about one of those?
Because of how names are resolved. It's the same reason why you can pass in the word, like this symbol here. This is a symbol as well, right? And this is a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
But it sees this symbol and it's like, okay, what does this mean? And what it does is it checks these parameters to see, okay, they're talking about whatever's passed into this function. And then, so that it looks at correct word and is like, okay, it's not here in these parameters because you didn't actually define anything called correct word in the parameters. So I'm going to keep going up until I find something that matches this word. And so what it does is it goes up to here and it says, okay, you define this correct word up here.
Okay.
And likewise for nth, it does that as well. It's like, okay, nothing is called nth up here. I didn't pass it anything called nth. And then it checks this entire file and it's like, I don't see anything called nth. So then it goes at a level above and it's like, okay, look at all the closure functions that are available. And it's like, okay, I found a closure function called nth. So these are how names are resolved. It goes up until it finds something.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Yeah.
I was just like, man,
Too much
that's
stuff to learn.
like,
It's
that don't
way
make
too
nobody
much.
sense. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just,
Huh. All right.
which makes sense because you want to be able to make use of names anywhere in your program.
Yeah.
So it's nice that names
They go up.
retain meaning,
Right.
like the more
Throughout.
stuff you build. Yeah. So it's kind of like a hierarchy of names
Hierarchy. What does it mean?
because it's like within this scope, n is only available here. But this is kind of a larger scope. It's available to the outside, from the outside, defined in the outside, and then it's made available inside. So it is kind of a style choice. If you want to be explicit about everything that this thing depends on, then you can say, okay, I have to pass in a correct word, a guess word, and the nth word. But if you prefer to be like, can we just assume that we're using the same correct word and the guess word, so I only have to pass in a number? Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Which one do you prefer?
I think I prefer this for the sake of clarity, the correct guess
Okay.
then.
So we'll use that one.
But in the future, I could know in my mind.
Yeah.
But to return later, I'd be like, what is that N? You know what I mean? But I mean, we have this, so that would help with that. But if that wasn't there and I was just looking at code, I'd be like, what did I say the N was again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or is your brain like so advanced that you're just like, nah, bro, you'll remember? Or like,
Well,
would
no,
you remember? Or like,
so it's like putting a language. It's like learning the language.
oh,
it is a
because of the
different
fact that
language.
it would be there, I wouldn't need it earlier up in the vector.
I'm sorry, I must be really tired. I might be thinking that you're talking about something else right now.
I don't know.
Okay, I thought you were talking about this description up here. It's useful to have this up
Oh,
here.
no.
Okay. No, it is.
Yeah.
So, I asked you what your preference was, and I would say my preference is to do that.
To do what?
To do this, what we left up here.
Oh, okay.
To just know it's like
Yeah,
everything
that's
that
what I
this
was just
function
saying.
needs. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
I was just spaced out for a second.
no, because I was just thinking like, yeah, like if you just put N and then I returned to this 3 weeks from now and looked at it, I'd be like, what does the N stand for again? Like I was saying if I didn't have this.
Oh, you were pointing.
Yeah, I was like, if I didn't have this black text telling me what I was doing when I wrote this and I had written this as just the N instead of correct guess N, I would later look at this like if I forgot and I would be like, wait, what does the N mean in this situation?
Yeah.
Unless you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
But then I was like, oh, maybe that wouldn't matter because you're advanced and you would like have written this maybe nth correct guess and then you'd be like, or nth guess and then you'd be like, oh, obviously when I put the and it meant correct and guess and then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if that's, and then you were like, no, I prefer this. So then I was like, okay, so it isn't just me.
No, it isn't.
Okay.
It's just.
Yeah, because I
about-
feel like it just makes more sense to have like, to tell, so that I can go back and look and be like, oh, this is what I defined those as. This is what I asked it to receive. So that when I look at it again later, I like remember what I
Yeah.
asked of it.
That's really good. You're thinking that way. It's like,
Clarity.
Because you're not just writing for the computer. You're writing for
You
readability
future self, yeah, your
Yeah.
readability, yeah.
and
I
for
like-
other people. But honestly,
Oh,
your
yeah.
future self is like
Mhm.
it's important. So that's good that you're thinking that way. You want to use this function to see what it does?
Yeah, let's try it.
So,
See if I can use this function.
yeah.
Alright, so green.
This is so exciting. You're just learning how to write code right now.
I know. I low
That's
key am
cool.
getting good at this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is really cool. So I forgot these functions. Alright. Okay. green. Okay. I think. Um, I might be wrong about this, but oh, I don't know how we ended up there.
It might be good to just talk through what you're doing.
Oh yeah,
so
so
I
yeah.
can just
Follow what I'm doing.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm
open
asked.
up the parentheses.
Yes.
Just start from the beginning.
Okay,
So
should I
you
start
say,
over?
Okay.
So I
Start from the very beginning. Just read what you wrote.
okay.
Green.
So green.
And then
what's
the second thing you need to type? Like what is the second thing? What does it have to be? You specified.
True.
No, you
Wait,
specified. So this is green,
Uh-huh.
right? And then you're passing in. What are you passing in? You're passing in correct, guess, and then an N. This is the contract that you wrote for what green needs.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you use green, the second thing you have to type in is the correct. The third thing you have to type in is the guess. And the fourth thing you have to type in is for. Right?
Oh, I'm doing this all kinds of messed up. My brain's done for the day. Okay, hold on. So I'm confused, babe.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't have to use the
Oh, I.
remember how prod you
Yeah,
don't
I
have
was
to
trying to
brackets,
look,
it's just a simple sentence. Like first word, second word, third word, all separated by spaces.
But why is it coming out green? Because this means something. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. Guess and. Okay.
It would be helpful to be literal instead of
confused.
symbolic right here. So just type in a literal word. for
Oh,
the
I
correct
should
word.
actually be literal. Well, the literal word.
Like a string. Like give it a string. So give it. So this is the correct word,
Mm-hmm.
and now give it a guess word.
As a new string.
Mm-hmm.
What you said was my.
And then give it the nth number, or some number.
Okay.
But numbers are not in strings.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay. So what is this going to do?
Okay, so tell me if it's true or not that it should be green. That white, the correct word. Oh, I see why I was off now. Okay. Might, which is the guess word, and the letter 3. Evaluate if. Yeah, I don't think I'm telling it what to do yet. Am I?
You are.
Okay.
You're not telling it what to do.
I don't know. I guess I already told it that the end correct and if it equal. That's what green is defined as. Is it equal? Okay. Yeah. So I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is false. Which is
Yeah,
correct.
we just have to. We need an example where it will return true.
Yeah.
So we need to say something like.
Okay. So I need to choose a different word.
Yeah.
That which is what I was saying earlier. Let's try.
Flint.
Okay. It's false.
Yeah.
I did it
Because
wrong.
3 is actually referring to the fourth position.
Oh, right. Duh.
Okay. So the third letter is green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
And then the 0th letter is going to be
W and F.
not green. That's all this function is telling us.
Oh, okay. Right. It's just
I
saying.
mean, we're doing this piecewise. So, like, we now have a function that says this letter is green or it's not green.
Yeah.
If it's not green, I can't tell you what color it is.
Yeah, it's just right now. It's just
Right.
either green or not green.
Right.
Okay, that's good. Progress.
Yeah. You want to do yellow or you want to call it?
I'm about to call it, or my brain's
Yeah.
gonna collapse.
Okay.
Low key, would it be this?
Because we've already written a function.
I know we've
here
already figured out how
that
to do this.
said, what is it? I would have to add more pieces to how this works. I'm sorry, where is it? Okay, so this is like green or yellow, right? So I would have to say that yellow is defined in terms of, is this true, and then but that tells you if it's green or yellow. So then you have to say this is true and not green, so that you could actually reuse the previous function and kind of weed out the possibility that it's green. So then it will be this is yellow. So we can define yellow as like this expression, and then you can say not green. So we can build a function together, but we can do that next time.
You want to start there? Okay, that's cool. I like it. All right.
So this will be the next one.
Yeah, next.
Yellow. Okay, so for next time. Okay, that's good. We did a lot, but I put a lot on you.
Wait, what did you say? Hold on. Define a function called yellow, same as green, but returns true if the letter at position N is yellow.
I just didn't want to type in all this other stuff, like correct word, it receives the guess word. This receives the same stuff.
Okay.
That's what I mean by same as green.
Okay, receives the same
Except,
stuff.
so it's like copy everything from the green description, but it's yellow.
Returns true if the letter at position N is yellow. Is not green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And not.
And not green. Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Well, that's implied by yellow.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So you're able to think a little bit more like a computer now.
Whoa.
Which you have to do in order to program well.
I gotta think on your computer.
Yeah. You have to think like, receive input, input in, output out, or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah?
I like it.
Like evaluation and receiving data, giving out the data, symbolic data, interprets things as something else. Literal data interprets it as what it is. Doesn't mean anything else. So next time we'll do a yellow function, and then ultimately we'll have a function. Remember, set up here. It will just tell us what color the nth letter should be.
Yeah.
And then from there we can start drawing. Yeah, I guess. We also have to track guesses.
Yeah.
So we have to track. Okay, your first guess was this.
Guess, second guess.
You have 4 guesses left. And your second guess was this. And then.
I like.
So yeah. There's a bunch of different pieces, but I think that's a good next step. Once we do figure out what the letters are, then we can start tracking guesses. Or we can do something cooler. We can draw stuff. It's always good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never drawn anything on a computer before.
Alright, we did
Cool.
it. Bye.
Wait. Can't just stop. I gotta look at myself.
This is how I end all streams.
Wow, just like that. Where is it? Oh, I guess you can't show the.
Button.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, bye.
We gotta get up early in the morning.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll start there next time.
Yes. Next week.
Next week, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Or so.
Maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Whenever you want to do
Whenever we get back to it. All right. We're looking good.
What do you think about closure so far?
I love it.
Do you?
I think it's convenient. I think it got a little bit trickier towards the end, more difficult, complex functions, defining them and then using them. But I think, with a fresh brain, I would look at this and say, this makes sense. I get it. So I like it. I'm enjoying using it. It's like kind of fun to type everything and be like, oop, I really like using this Maria thing because I'm like, wrong color. Like, obviously, like,
Helps.
red alert,
Yeah.
flag on the play. Because I think if I didn't have colors, like, to associate what each part of a function is, I would just be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it helps to be like, oh, it's not the right color. It's probably not the right thing.
Yeah.
And to rethink what I'm doing. So I really like using Maria for that. But yeah, I like the way closure's written. It makes sense. I just need to like think about it more.
Mm.
Pretty cool. I'm becoming a little programmer.
Yeah.
Little baby programmer learning to crawl on closure.
It's just hard
And
because
Maria.
you're learning a new language, so it is like.
Yeah, it's like, how does this language work?
Because I
Why
can
does
see
it do
you
this?
starting to type something, you're like green, because it's like that's our language. You just type words.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wait, I have to do it
In
inside
the
the
parentheses.
parentheses.
Yeah.
And then you're just like thinking out loud. You're like, okay, equals, because you're like in some ways you're saying it's like. Yeah, because like my thoughts equal. It's like I'm just trying to get this to equal something. So
Yeah.
you're like just typing, and then you're just like, well, I think the function's doing the nth correct, so let me just type that out. But like you just, yeah, it helps to
Yeah.
just follow a contract. But it's just okay. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to call this thing, and then trying to pass in 3 things afterwards, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what
It's just a matter of like figuring out how to type those things out
right.
to make it do what I want it to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'm learning. Alright,
So once you get this, because it really does live in your head, this understanding of how things,
Dang.
because it really is a language, and you're learning what things mean, right? So,
Wow.
like, you won't even need something like this, basically.
yeah, eventually.
No, you do kind of need English still, so that's what comments are for. Like, you'll type a bunch of comments interspersed in code, and that's why I like Maria, is it because all the English is kind of just in its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the code is separated. But oftentimes when you're writing code, you do have this inside of your code file, inside of these, what are called comments.
Nice.
So you still do need the English, but
The English.
but you can read this, and it starts to make sense just by itself.
This is cool.
Cool. Alright, I'm glad you like it. You're doing really well.
Thanks. You're a great teacher.
I'm alright. Alright, goodbye.